In this week's episode, I removed the rigging and get it ready to take up to a rigger. I also go through how I made the guard wires for the boat and I finish off that job. I get a visitor too and he helps me out with some of the metalwork on the forehatch. So this is actually where the running backstays go. They have like a T-fitting that'll slot into this fitting here, and then this stainless bracket will come down and screw in here so that it can stop it from popping out. Initially I didn't think that there actually was anything for the running backstay, but after kind of doing research and stuff like that and how they're fitted, that'll be just fine. So that's good. This is actually where the inner forestay will go. So there's a T-fitting as well that goes into here, and initially I was worried that wouldn't be strong enough, but it'll actually be fine. I was speaking to the rigger and he said it should be fine, so I don't think I've got anything to worry about there. Currently that's the way the running backstays are rigged up, so they need to be replaced too. I'm thinking of using Dyneema, so Dyneema would be nice, because the thing is, if I use wire, there's a chance it'll chafe the sail. So if I use Dyneema, it's not going to chafe the sail. It's just quite expensive, and yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do yet. The rigger I want to use works from yard a distance away from Zora, so I have to take off all the rigging I want to get replaced and take it up to them. So I took it all off, coiled it up and got it ready to take away with me. So I'm just about to wrap it up here for the day. I did what I came down to do. I was a bit late because my flight from London was a day late. But what I did was I took all the rigging off, I've coiled it up and kind of figured out what I'm going to replace. So take it to the rigger next week and then see what he says and just get started on that. Probably going to be quite expensive. I'm expecting the budget for my rigging was about €3,500. Which I think is on the light side, even considering I've got to put new pulleys on, a new pulley kind of block system for the two running backstays. I've got to replace all the wire and some of the turnbuckles, and they're quite expensive. So yeah, so I'd say €3,500 will probably be a decent budget. My paint is going to cost me about €1,700 or €1,800, and I'll have to do the labour on that, but that's okay. So you know, I'm still on budget, which is good. So we're up on the bow of our adventure boat, and I just want to show you some of the detail on the guard wires that I've made. So I've got 6mm old rigging wire that was actually it was a surplus rigging wire that was in the yard they weren't using, so I actually got that for free. So I also bought wherever I can find them now. I also bought these fittings on Amazon. They're actually rigging turnbuckles and terminals. So I bought these on Amazon, and I think they were £15 each delivered. So I paid £200 for all of the kind of hardware. And then I also bought this guy. So this is a swaging tool, and generally these are quite expensive because they're, I suppose you can call them a specialist piece of kit. It's just a pneumatic pump, like a press, that compresses two dies so at a set kind of size, and it compresses the rigging fitting over the wire, so the wire can come back out again. So generally these are, I think the cheapest ones I could find were €150, or some of them were £90 as well, I think. But I bought this one on Amazon for £25 delivered. Now it is a cheap version, but for what I'm looking for it to do, it's going to do that job quite well. I'm only going to use it to crimp these wires and to crimp these guard wires, but I'm going to keep it on the boat as a spare kind of emergency tool. If something does happen out at sea and I need to make some emergency rigging, at least I can have this with me. So that was a great little buy. I think overall these guard wires are going to cost about €250, and I think for a rigger to do it, I probably would have been paying €1,000 just to have the rigging all the way around done, or the guard wires all the way around done. So So yeah, I saved quite a bit of money, and I'm going to put that money into the rigging of the mast. So I'm going to replace the forestay, the inner forestay, the middle shrouds, the outer shrouds, and the 2 running backstays. So they'll be brand new, and pretty much my entire rig will be new, so I'll be pretty happy with that. Yeah, so I'm just going to get started now and yeah, make some more guide wires. I know cutting this wire with a cutting disc isn't ideal, but it did the job this time round. I would love to have a wire cutter, but they're pretty expensive considering what they are. Once the wire is measured, checked twice and then cut to length, the crimper does its job of swaging the ends on ready for fitting. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and they really add to the look and to the safety of the boat. And this is what it looks like when it's done. I've got a nice beefy fitting on the end, 6mm wire, and the wire comes up to here, so I've clamped here and clamped here. I'm going to clamp here as well, so I'll have 3 crimps, and that'll be nice strong guard wires. Keep us safe when we're out in the middle of the ocean and the winds pick up. We can hold on to something. I kind of get the feeling some of you are wondering what I'm at with the cable ties. Well, there is method to my madness. There's a madness to my method, I'm not sure. Anyway, the cable ties are just going to hold the wires in place while I decide where the stanchion rings are going to go. So instead of drilling holes in my stanchions, because I've got quite heavy wire, I'm going to use kind of eyelets or stainless eyes welded onto the stanchions and onto the endpoints. So that'll hold my kind of guard wires in place safely, rather than drilling big holes in my stanchions. So yeah, there is a method to it all, I think. I was very lucky to have Simon with me today. He saw a few of these videos and sent me an email offering a hand. As I said before, the hatch mount had buckled when it was welded, so Simon straightened it out and cut the opening to fit the hatch. While Simon was working at that job, I finished off the guard wires. So that's it from me now this weekend. I got a lot more actually done than I had kind of expected to do, and massive thank you to Simon for coming to give me a hand. Without him, I wouldn't have got as much as I had done today. I had planned to kind of cut the hatch opening a bit bigger so that the hatch fit right, and to do the guard wires, but I only just did the guard wires by myself. But if Simon hadn't been here, I wouldn't have done the hatch as well. So thank you so much. If anybody else wants to come down to the boat and actually give me a hand, just give me a message and we can organise that, no problem at all. Before I do go, I want to give a shout out to another channel that I've been watching for probably the last few months, and their channel's growing and growing, and I've no doubt that it's going to explode anytime soon. It's a channel called Building Brupeg, and a lot of you probably know about it already. The guys are building a 57-foot veggie-powered, ice-strengthened expedition boat. That's how they describe it. It's so, I'm gonna swear, sorry. That was so cool. Like it's a. I think the boats had actually sank in the river nearby. That one of the rivers nearby, and they raised her, and they're rebuilding it. So there's a fantastic history there. Anyway, I've linked the channel in my. There's a card that should pop up now as well, and I've linked the channel in my description. You'll probably notice, anybody with a keen eye, is that I've put a list of channels that I admire and that I follow and that I've been following for quite a while. So if you're so inclined and you like the boat building videos, then I would check out my description, where I've got a list of channels that I really like, and I'll continue adding to that. I'm not going to cap it off or anything. I'm going to keep adding to it. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of trying to build here, is a boat and the community aspect of it as well. I mean, people like Simon coming down to help me out. I'm in contact with the Acorn to Arabella guys. It's just great. It's a great community. And I really appreciate all of the support, all of the help, all of the likes, and all of the subscriptions. That really does make a big difference to me, so thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up here now, and this video is coming out 7 PM tonight, so next video is 7 PM next week. So Thanks very much and take care.